Hi guys, we are going to finish out the year with book clubs, and book clubs are kind of a real world thing. In fact, I just signed up for one recently to be a part of a book club that's national. I'll be able to read the same books as people all over the nation and talk to them about it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of book talk about 7 books, and I am going to have you kind of rank them or pick your top 3 ultimately. I want you to write down your top 3, and I'm going to try to get everyone into a book club in that top 3 choices. So I want to start with Number the Stars, and I know it's all probably going to be backwards because of the way it's videoing, but we're going to do Number the Stars by Lois Lowry. This book is fantastic. It is set during World War II, and it's about when the Germans have invaded Denmark, and there's a Jewish family and there is a Christian family, and the Christian family is friends with the Jewish family, and it's all about kind of keeping the Jewish family safe and getting them to safety and getting their daughter to safety and kind of the struggles with that. So a good book. Then we have The K. The K was a book I didn't think I was going to like and ended up really liking it. It also takes place during World War II. The war itself doesn't play a whole lot of importance in the book other than the catalyst for where it all lands to begin the story. Philip is leaving a war-torn area. They're trying to escape World War II, and in their escape the Germans hit their boat, and he is separated from his family. He ends up blinded, and he's stranded on this island with Timothy, and Timothy is a black man, and of course during World War II, during that time, there's some racism and segregation going on, so Philip isn't super happy about being on an island with Timothy. What makes this book a little intriguing or a little more challenging is that it's hard to show you here, but Timothy speaks in dialect. He's an islander, so when you're reading what Timothy has to say, the spelling is such that it's the wrong spelling, but it's the right way so that we can say it the way we're supposed to hear him speak. So instead of that, T-H-A-T, it's D-A-T, dat, right? So it's a little challenging to get used to, but it's kind of fun to see how your brain picks up on it, and it almost becomes something you're not thinking about. The next book we have is Hatchet by Gary Paulsen. We've talked about this one before briefly when we were doing our signposts way back at the beginning of the year and learning about Again and Again. If you remember, Brian kept having these moments of remembering or kind of bringing up the word divorce and secrets. So he's on a plane, his parents are divorced, and he's on a plane headed to, I think, to see his dad, but I can't remember which parent, and the pilot has a heart attack and dies, and the plane crashes, and the story is about his survival in the woods, but it's also him wrestling with the secret he knows about that maybe has caused or led to the divorce of his parents. So not a genre I often like. It's okay for me, but lots of people love this book, so definitely one to check out. This is probably my favorite, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred Taylor. It is set in the Deep South in Mississippi. Cassie is a young black girl, and her family owns land, which during this time period that it's set in is A, unusual, and B, not very well accepted by a lot of the white people in the area. And so it's kind of their story of fighting the white supremacist type of mentality. The Ku Klux Klan is involved. But also there's friendship issues in there as well. It also has other books, so if you enjoy the characters, it's got books to kind of continue their stories a little bit, but you can just read it on its own and not feel like, oh gosh, I have to know what happens next. She kind of wraps it up for the most part in the end here. Really good book. She develops her characters really well. I think Cassie's little brother, they call him Little Man, is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. He's just spunky and has his own personality, so it's a good one. This is Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This one's very different from all of our other books choices. Winnie, she meets this family, and the family seems they're very friendly, but there's a little something different about them. And ultimately, the big conflict that Winnie is faced with is, does she want to choose to live forever, or choose not to live forever and live a normal human life. So that's kind of what the battle is, or the major conflict in this story. A good short read. Peak by Roland Smith is a good one. I learned a lot when I read this. I didn't know what to expect, but I certainly enjoyed it. Peak is the name of the main character, and his parents are also divorced. There must be a theme here. They are divorced, and they're professional mountain climbers. And Peak gets himself in trouble. He has been climbing skyscrapers and tagging them, kind of like the graffiti type of tag. And after some other people try it and end up injured, they need to get Peak out for a while, out of the area so that the publicity can die down. So they send him off to be with his dad. The problem is his dad is about to go on an expedition with a group of people he's leading it, to take them up Mount Everest. And so it's kind of their story of the trip up, but also there's more to it there, kind of the family dynamics and friendship too. And then the last one I have to share with you is Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. I hate this book. It's a fantastic book, but I hate it because you need about 7 boxes of Kleenex. You know, I've always said I don't read dog books. It's a dog book. I don't read dog books. But it really is quality, good story. Lots of people read it and love it, and they've seen the movie, etc. So what I'd like you to do is pick your top 3 and be ready to write those down, so that I can get you shuffled into your book clubs that we'll do for pretty much the remainder of the school year. I'll talk to you soon.